On the 25th of July, there were stories about YouTubers who were offered money to spread information that vaccines were bad, that taking a vaccine could actually harm you or cause fatal effects. Then on the 3rd of August, there were stories and images of patients' lungs who had been vaccinated and unvaccinated, suggesting that if you were unvaccinated, you were going to suffer, and if you were vaccinated, you'd pull through, you'd be all right. Yet there was no evidence to suggest that everyone's lungs would behave the same, and that by holding up two opposing images, we could be certain of the result. This seemed very reminiscent of the way television adverts behaved in the 1950s, when doctors were used to promote cigarette smoking.
What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?
Tens of thousands of doctors in all branches of medicine, in all parts of the country, were asked that question.
What cigarette do you smoke, doctor?
The brand named most was Camel. Yes, surveys show more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
This could then be called propaganda, the spreading of ideas, information, or rumor for the purpose of helping injuring an institution, or the spreading of ideas, facts, or allegations to further one's cause or damage an opposing cause. The deliberate attempt to shape perception and direct behavior to achieve a response that's good for the protagonist. And here are some examples that you might have seen before. And then recently, on the 16th of September, Lisa Wilson had lost 6 members of her family to COVID-19 within 3 weeks, as reported on CNN and many other news channels. She's an aide to the Palm Beach County Commissioner who managed to speak up about this.
In a 2-week time frame, her grandmother died, her uncle died, and 4 cousins died. None of them were vaccinated. They were scared of the vaccine because of ridiculous things they'd seen on the internet. And that fear they're now dead.
Implying that if you don't get the vaccine, you're more than likely to die. However, we don't know much about the history of the family or any health issues they may have had beforehand. But if we look at their obituaries, we can see by their pictures that they were rather overweight. They had a very, very hard life. They were living kind of on the poverty level a lot of the time, it would appear, and that this might have led to unhealthy life choices throughout their life, which would have affected their health. The other reason they didn't, as reported by the Palm Beach Post, her brother was hospitalized with COVID-19 after he was vaccinated and died anyway. So that might have affected their choice. One of their family had been vaccinated and died regardless. But it's certainly not the case that if you have a vaccine, you're going to be fine. You need to make your choices for yourself, as this family did. The good thing about knowing that propaganda exists is that as propaganda becomes ineffective the moment we are aware of it. As Joe O'Donnell said, if consumers are aware that they're being propagandized, the choice to accept or reject the message is theirs alone. So the fact that you are now aware that propaganda exists means you are now free to make a choice that is your own. Don't fall for the tricks of the sneaky car salesman. Government can only be and should ever be advisory. The choice ultimately is yours. As Patrick McGoogan said in The Prisoner,
I will not make any deals with you. I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
Quite right. Thank you.